Tell us at some point. There we are. Now we're live. Now we can tell. What's up? What's up, business nerds? Happy Wednesday night. It's time for a little home service happy hour brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Cheers, Beth. Are you thirsty? Do you got anything?
I brought my coffee, my Wawa coffee. Shout out Wawa. Anyone knows it.
I haven't had a Wawa coffee in a long time. Being a Midwesterner, we just don't get Wawas out here. In my previous life, Wawa used to be a client of mine. I used to sell them their eggs, and I would trade corn and soybean meal contracts for the chickens that provided the eggs to Wawa. So I would like go meet with their finance team, suit and tie Dan. Believe that? Suit and tie Dan. Can you believe that?
But there's just so much to unpack with this story, starting with the chickens.
I was slinging chicken feed. I was price locking corn and soybean meal to feed chickens at an exact ratio and an exact. We didn't own the birds. We just did all the processing for Wawa. We contract with the farmers. I did my nerdy finance thing to use futures contracts and options contracts. But then like once or twice a year, I'd fly out to Philly, meet with the Wawa team and talk futures contracts and options contracts based on how many eggs they needed and how many chickens we had to feed to get that many eggs. And so every time I went, I got to go to Wawa. And like not only like go hang out with them, but also like go to Wawa and get breakfast food because it's so good. Get a hoagie, get coffee, whatever, because it's like the best. It's by far the best convenience store, whatever you want to call it.
I had friends that refused to leave the state for college because they didn't have Wawas in other states.
They're smart friends. They got smart friends.
I know. It's okay, I love that story though.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to come out of your mouth, Dan.
I'm an oddball, but I said convenience store. And it almost feels like that's a diss on Wawa because they're just at another level.
They're just a totally another. Well, I don't even know what you call them.
I don't know.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're so damn good.
So good.
Anyway, Beth Eldredge, it's magic too. You got your own magic up your sleeves with your TikToks, and we're going to get into like the social media stuff that you do that helped you blow up. But first, we got a BS for a while. I got to see at CBF Live. That was like, I always think of maid service businesses as like once you get to March, this fire just starts burning. Like everybody thinks they're going to go out of business in January and February. Yep. And then you get to March and you're like, oh shit, here it comes again. Yeah. And from like then until about now, it's about as fast as you can answer the phone. Did you feel that this year, like with your own business and with your clients' businesses? Was it the normal spring, like, oh shit, everybody buckle up?
We were very lucky. For us, it was. For us, it definitely was. But Google shut us down for 35 days.
Oh, damn.
February going into March.
Oh, no. That's like the worst time.
It was the worst. I've heard of it happening, and I heard it could happen to anybody, and it's just kind of a random, the Google gods shut you down. So, we were down for 35 days. But we came back with a vengeance. So we're getting more lead. Yeah, we're back in growth mode again. And but so we stay very, very busy through the summer with deep cleans.
You get to
move in, move out. So we get those turnovers. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I have heard of other people like we had a few bookkeeping clients that shut their businesses down because Google took their listing off. And
I could see why. Yeah,
that was all they had. Like smaller operators just went out of business because and I'm not on Facebook. I still have my business page on Facebook, but like I'm off Facebook and I don't sell anything on Facebook. Yeah. But even just having a presence out there, I notice my demo speed going down a little bit from just not having the content going to as many places.
Yeah.
How did you? You knew that because I bugged you because you said you knew a person, right? I never did get it back. Like.
I'm still so mad, but I tell people that story, Dan.
It's so
about you getting your Facebook because that made me so mad for you.
It's frustrating, but like there's this other secret thing, which is I really don't like social media, and so I'm way happier not in a funny way. Like I'm happier not being on it. My business suffers, but who cares? Like
you're doing fine.
Yeah, social media isn't my jam. I think. A lot of people get addicted to it, but I think it's like bad for our culture. It's not a good thing. It's just dope. We're going to one guest I had on the podcast. I digress here was like an AI nerd. He's like, my next business is going to be dopamine clinics. because we're all so addicted to dopamine. We're going to be all so miserable and unhappy.
I mean, funny, not funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all going to be miserable. Yeah. Like, we're all just addicted to dopamine.
Yeah.
We're just a bunch of drug addicts. And I'm just like, man, I don't miss it. Like, now that I'm weaned off of it, it's going to be hard for me to, like, get back into it. And I already kind of like it.
The flip side, though, so Google put us, and I can see how businesses go out of business. Especially when you get to my company size, like, you need to replace attrition fast.
Yeah, you can't fast. Natural attrition as you get bigger gets to be more. It's a percentage of your clients.
And it's a lot of money. Yeah. It's a lot of money a month if you don't replace it. So, but social media is what saved me. Because I have worked so hard at keeping my social media presence up that it kept me that and SEO. So having that good social media presence, it slowed down the whatever you want to call it, the loss that we were having.
Yeah.
So I would say that was probably the thing that saved us.
I've been intentional now, not being on Facebook, about making sure that our YouTube is better. Yeah. And that we're more on Instagram and we're more on TikTok and that we're doing other things, like working more with our affiliates and partners.
Yeah.
Because of that reason, it's like, I can't just be Facebook Dan. Can't just be crypto Dan anymore.
You can't be crypto Dan.
Like, gotta have different outlets. Got to be in more places.
100%.
I'm using LinkedIn.
This is all social media, Dan.
It is.
YouTube, social media. This is all social media. You're just not on Facebook.
I'm just not on Facebook. They're the only ones. I thought it was kind of funny they left me on Instagram. They even made me like prove it was me, and they're like, "Oh, you're fine there." I'm just like, "What in the world is going on here?" I guess the hacker didn't steal my Instagram, so therefore I wasn't. Because I did start a new Facebook account, and I was like coming back, and they shut that one down for me emulating myself, my crypto self. So they shut that one down. I did try. I feel this is like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, but I tried a third time to build a castle in the swamp.
Yeah.
But then they shut that one down in like an hour because they're just like, yeah, no way, man. Like, we're on to all of your IP addresses. Don't try it. And I was just like,
you.
I was just like, whatever. It's just not this. I'm just not going to fight this.
It is what it is. What can you do?
Yeah. So now we're working on our YouTube content and like making sure that's better. So
well, so they're saying LinkedIn is the place to be now. That's the fastest growing. So as far as having the most interactions, LinkedIn is where it's at, believe it or not.
I'm noticing more and more. I don't know that my content is LinkedIn format style content, but I'm putting it there. We're going. We're there right now. We're live out there right now. It's happening.
Good for you.
So just keep plugging.
For sure.
Doing fun stuff and running a good business. I also kind of feel like in a recurring service business, this is a little bit easier. Maid service or bookkeeping,
right?
A little trickier with like window cleaning, pressure washing, one-time service businesses, but it's so much more referral and word of mouth in a way because of the recurring nature of it. Like, we still have a lot of attrition to battle, but like when we execute well, we don't have nearly as much attrition. Like, attrition is slightly in our control.
Right.
People sell houses, right? People go out of business, so there's a natural attrition no matter what. Die. Yep. But at least like my clients that went out of business were like pressure washing guys, where it's like once they got off of Google, it was like they couldn't react fast enough. They were just there's no revenue tomorrow, and they didn't know what to do. They ended up going and getting a job. So at least we've got really good clients. We still get plenty of repeats, and it's recurring service. And we get plenty of referrals, which then buys you time to build, do other sweet stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not naive to the luxury of that.
Yeah, for sure.
The beauty of a recurring service business, I guess.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What how much do you guys focus on one-time stuff? Like you said, the one-times kind of help you out all summer long. Is it like a seasonal approach to one-times that in the spring you're kind of like, nah, let's get these initials going, but in the summer you're like, hey, we got room, we got to keep these cleaners busy. Throw on the deep cleans?
We know. So, you know about deep clean specialists. It's almost like you're asking me to talk about deep clean specialists here. Do you know about deep clean specialists?
I ask the questions. You get to control the answers. I don't want to lead you anywhere.
Great. So, do you know about deep clean specialists, though? Have you heard of it?
I do, but I don't know all the details of it. So I think now's the time to give us some details. Let's see.
I'll do the real like TLDR, like the real high level stuff. So basically, when I joined CBF, it worked. And we got so busy that we were so deep clean heavy, and we kept failing on these deep cleans. So we're winning this reoccurring service, but we were failing on the deep cleans. Yep. So I put together what's called deep clean specialist. And it's how do we incorporate deep cleans into our team, because it's a very different service than reoccurring.
Oh yeah.
Maintenance clean. It's a totally different service, and it requires a different skill set and a different type of person. Mm-hmm. So our deep clean specialists, they also do reoccurring, but half of their schedule is deep cleans. So
this sounds like a rectangle is a square, but a square is not a rectangle. Like a deep clean specialist can go do a residential clean. They might overdo it, but
exactly.
Do you find like a residential clean can't really go and do a deep clean? That doesn't go both ways.
It doesn't go both ways. So we have this now a tier in our business, like you can be a trainer or you can be a deep clean specialist. And it's been like amazing. So it's just the way that we've set up our team. I always want reoccurring service. But we're a larger company and we have a great reputation. And so we're also in a really wealthy area. So we can handle the 8,000, 9,000 square foot houses when it comes to the deep cleans. So I try to stay at around 15% deep cleans as part of my revenue. This time of year, we're actually at 27%, which is heavy.
Just as you start getting into the summer and more of the real estate stuff going on. I suppose you can get grad parties and people just want like the one time.
We get those, but we just get a ton of deep cleans this time of year. So we want to make sure we're staffed so we can maintain the residential recurring, but also take on these potentially much higher paying one times to make it worth a while. Yeah.
What, like from an hourly rate basis, percentage wise or dollar wise, however you want to frame it, how much more do you charge? Like what's the premium for a one time versus an average recurring?
So one times are only about $10 more an hour, but our move in, move outs are $20 more an hour.
Okay. So the cleaners are getting some sort of commission style job ticket out bump in that.
Sweet. Yeah. It's awesome. It's been working really, really well.
It sounds a little bit like we used to have this same type of thing in window cleaning where if you're doing commercial route work window cleaning, it's usually like one story, maybe a little step ladder, and it's not as detailed and it isn't intense, and it's a route. Right. So it's like the first time is dirtier, but then it's on a route. So every time you go, the windows are fairly clean. You're just doing it quick and the charge is way lower. And then it's another skill set to go do like a residential style window cleaning where it's just taller, bigger, more complicated ladder moves. Sometimes you're using water fed poles, and it's like, you got to look at that thing sideways 10 times to like see a streak. Whereas on a recurring clean, it's like, we'll get it next week when we're back. There's a streak and the business owner doesn't care as much.
Exactly. Like and they're more unpredictable.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. You just really, because we don't do in-person estimates, we just really don't know what we're walking into. So it does take a certain personality type to be able to handle.
What percent is hoarder level? Like where you run into a
much hoarder. We just get more and more. It's interesting. The farther we get away from the pandemic, just filthy. Mm-hmm. Filthy. Not as much hoard. We've gotten more like we had bed bugs, which we had to evacuate. We had to decontaminate. We had to evacuate. It's a whole thing. So we've just been getting like really, really dirty houses with very unreasonable expectations, which is interesting.
I'm glad you said that, because that's when we used to run our maid service businesses, I went the exact opposite route, which is like we just straight up went away from deep cleans, because our experience over and over again was people wanted you to take something that hadn't been cleaned for 30 years and make it look like new, which wasn't possible. And we didn't even charge that much. It'd be like $500. One time we charged $1,000 and the person said yes. And I was like, oh shit. Like,
what have I done?
Screwed. Like the fact that they even said yes is like, oh no. Like what are we really in for?
Yeah.
But it always turned to it. And I think, it's an expectations thing. It's like knowing what you're selling and how to sell it, and knowing how to clean it and where to set your boundaries and all that stuff. And we were so good at recurring, and we just couldn't grasp deep cleans. It seemed like half the time we would never get paid for it. 90% of the time there'd be customer service issues. So we get all these 1-star Google reviews, and it's like, I don't know how to, it's fun to respond to the 1-star Google review from an insane person, because then you're just like enjoying the process of like, Mrs. Jones, Turns out we actually can't make something new that was 40 years
right.
smoked in your house the whole time. You know, and you've got cats shitting all over your carpet.
Exactly.
Sorry for embarrassing you, but so it's like we just kept running into that over and over again. I don't know if we just always tracked the crazies. Maybe we needed something when we answered the phone that was like, press 1 if you're nuts, press 2 if you're
Does your cat pee inside?
Yeah.
Or outside? Yeah. No, so that's kind of what this program solved for, and training someone to like specialize in, and so we won't even attempt the house if it's, you know, if it's nasty or it's something that we can't win on.
You don't do the in-person estimate, so how do you figure out if it's worth going to clean it? Like, how do you figure that out, and when do you say no, we're not doing that?
So we have a very good list of questions, but we probe. We really probe, and we make it really clear that we keep your deposit if this, or this, and we reminded them of that a few times.
I like that. We never took deposits. That was probably where we went wrong. We were we were on the hook the whole damn time.
Yeah. No, we took deposits. We take deposits and then we charge their cards. We do get some, you know, in any service, I think anymore, people will just try to dispute charges. Yeah.
There's a handful that never intended on paying for the thing.
No. So, but we really don't have that many issues. And we do, I want to say 20, we probably did at least 40 deep cleans this week.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's piling them on.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So it's fun. Good stuff.
Yeah. That I did, like, every once in a while. I mean, early on when we started our maid service business, like, I was the deep cleaner, right? Like, oh my, getting dirty. Yeah. And damn, it's rewarding when you take something that's just absolutely filthy and hasn't been cleaned in forever, and you can just transform it. Like,
I know.
It's rewarding.
It's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's equally frustrating when you were there and you did it and you saw what it was and you saw what it is now, and you take the before and afters and they still say, this looks like shit, we're not paying you. And you're like, I just spent 12 hours in there, lady. Like,
I know, you're like covered in like sweat and cat hair and like just spitting it out of your mouth. So
gross. There's some nasty ones. There's some nasty ones.
Yeah.
One, I don't know what happened to this family, but one lady we cleaned for, she suckered me twice. That's how like, I'm so like trying to please people, like a total people pleaser.
Yeah.
And so, like,
are you still?
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's on them. It's not on me. Like, if I get taken advantage of, I'm still gonna keep doing the same thing. I'm not here to judge people. That's God's job. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep trying to help people, and I'm gonna lose every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I'm still healthy, and my kids are still healthy, and my wife still loves me. So I'll lose a while. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But after like a second time, I'm just like, man, I'm such an idiot. Can you believe I cleaned the place up? And she, like, her dog shit all over the house. They hadn't done their dishes in like a month. Like, there's stuff growing on their pile of dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
I don't know if she got ill or if her husband had passed away. Like, I assume something really bad happened in their family. And they gave up.
Yeah.
And so we cleaned it, and she never paid. And then she kept promising she was going to sign up for recurring, right? And so that was, she sucked me back in, and I cleaned it again. And it was just as filthy like a month later when I cleaned it again. It was just like, I wonder how many cleaning companies they have suckered into at least doing one clean for them. I think this is just a gauntlet they run. And they're just like, who's the new cleaning company in town? They're looking for who has like the least Google reviews, like who's the newest. Perfect. They want business. They'll come and clean anything.
And they know the keyword. Like, we want to sign up for reoccurring. Like that's the buzzword. That's what we want. We'll do anything for that reoccurring.
Yeah, they had me figured out. They suckered me twice. They got me.
That's amazing.
It was, and I mean, at the time I was pissed. Now it's hilarious, right? It's type 2 fun. At the time, there's so many things where you're like, in the moment you hate it. Later on, it's your favorite thing to tell stories about. So take us back here. Like, you've got the deep, man. Like, there's so many things now when I reflect, like, had I known you and how to do deep cleans and had I figured out how to recruit the way we do now and train the way we do now, I don't know if I still would be running maid service businesses and not even here talking to you, because I would be doing bookkeeping. I would have like run better maid service businesses and stuck with it. But but take us back to the beginning. I know you started back in like the early 2000s doing maid service.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine you had it all figured out then. Like,
I had nothing figured out then, Dan. I had absolutely nothing figured out.
Well, good. So you're human. You're just like the rest of us.
In 2004, I was just crazy enough to never quit. Yeah. So I started when I was in college. I had my daughter when I was a sophomore in college, and I started
to make some money.
I had to feed the baby, and I had to figure something out. So I started scrubbing toilets for $25 an hour. I had no idea what I was doing. And I got my degree in social work and did that for a couple years and cleaned on the side, but I couldn't support her on a social worker's income. So I just started. I'm someone, I see the world in numbers. You're a math nerd, right? I don't know. Yeah. So like, even when I'm having a conversation with somebody, it's kind of like a calculus formula that I'm like, yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Some people get it.
Which it's funny to me that your brain is wired that way, and you went into social work. That doesn't seem like the brain of somebody that would go into social work.
Well, I was very broken.
That seems like the brain of somebody that would be like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna be a nerdy accountant and take care of the bookkeeping stuff."
No. I think that's what makes me interesting. I think a lot of people who are broken go into social work to try to fix themselves.
Interesting take.
Yeah. Well,
I suppose like you're trying to like understand
how the
human is working.
Yeah. And I'm so glad I did it, because I really did. It did give me such an education in human behavior, which certainly serves me. And it gave me so much empathy.
Yeah.
Like why people do the things that they do. So I had worked with kids, adolescents who were abused and delinquents. So abused criminal kids is what I worked with.
Yeah. They've seen a thing or two.
Oh man, it took me years to like detox from that. So I went to cleaning houses instead, because it would break my heart. I'd make more by 9 a.m. than I would in its entire day as a social worker.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was always mathing in my head, like, so if I make this much by myself, if I had another person and I paid them this much, I'd make this much. And I remember once being like, I could make $80,000. And being like, what? 80,000, like mind blown that I could make that much money. So funny. My dreams were so small. And then I just kept doing it and screwing up and learning. And I grew it. And then I met my husband and eventually convinced him to leave corporate and help me grow. And I was just growing a mess. And I also was growing my expenses. Yeah. Because I'm like, sure, I can build this big house. I figure out how to make money. I'll just figure it out. Yeah. Sure, I'll put my kid in private school. I'll figure it out. But it was going great until it didn't.
Yeah. The bigger it can make more money, it also can lose more money. They don't tell you that.
They don't tell you that. It doesn't always grow either. No one told me that either. So, so by the time I joined CBF, I had a big bit. It was like 600,000. I had seven teams. I was running teams.
Got to run. You always convince yourself early on that teams are the way to go. Like, just it seems like a logical safety thing and a speed in the house thing. And
I didn't want people to be lonely. And
yeah,
it seemed like such a good idea. And so then I met Debbie, and I signed up for CBF because I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. We weren't paying our mortgage. I was just done. And
it eats you alive. Like, running a small business can just eat you alive.
I'm so tired.
It's rough.
Yeah. I was like, I remember I just joined CBF. I was the night before live. It was the pandemic, and where I am was a big deal. Like, we all wore masks, like, for a long time. Like, we were shut down.
Was this the one in 2020 where we were like at CBF live when it broke out?
No, the next one.
Okay.
The next one. Yeah. So I hadn't seen people without masks or anything. I was so desperate that like I would take any advice because I was done. I'm like, I'll wait tables. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yep.
And then turn things around pretty quickly. And we just skyrocketed until we didn't. So
what, when you look back at it, obviously like CBF was a catalyst to the first wave. What of that program and what things did you implement where you can point to it and be like, man, when we got that thing right, like the change was the next day?
That's a great question. So much of it was just small tweaks, pricing right. Going, of course, from teams to solos. That was a big deal. Empowered pay. So we weren't so far off the mark because I was able to turn a pretty big company around really quickly. But it was just those little tweaks. And I think having a community of people that were just like me for the first time ever in my life made all the difference. It gave me that like shot I needed, like that shot in the arm I needed.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, I can do this. I got this. And I'm very competitive. So I saw what the bigger companies were making and I was like, yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's something about that community too, where especially when you're a small business owner, it's freaking lonely because your employees don't really care about all your problems, right? They think they get all of your time and all of your money and they like, especially early on when you don't know any better.
Yeah.
You tend to surround yourself with employees that make you feel guilty about making money.
Oh yeah.
And then you do, and you give it all away and you don't, and you in the business don't make any money because you're like, well, I don't deserve it. They're the ones out there cleaning every day. And it's like this weird trap mindset you get yourself into. And if you're not surrounded by other business owners slapping you upside the head and telling you to snap out of it, like you just, you get demoralized and you're like, what am I doing here? Why do I work so hard for nothing?
Right.
And all my cleaners are dry. This was always funny to me. I'd show up at our office and like all of my cleaners would have a nicer vehicle than me. I know. And I'm just like, hey, I'm also a finance person. So I'm like, maybe I need to like teach you guys some financial planning. Like, I know what you guys make. I know you can't afford that car. Like, did you inherit a bunch of money? If you did, why are you working for me?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't compute. This doesn't compute.
Yeah.
I guess this is why you're stuck working for me.
Yeah.
But like, was there anything you mentioned you were on this upswing until you weren't? Was there anything where you got to a point you're like, oh shit, didn't see that coming? Like what was that weren't where you got stuck again?
Oh my gosh. It would hurt. It hurt my feelings. So we grew really fast. We went from 600 to 1.2 in like less than a year. Like we went fast. And then quickly got to 1.7. And I didn't know how to manage people. Like I didn't have the skill set. I hadn't worked that muscle long enough. So I swear, like anyone who when you grow $1 million, you learn the same amount of lessons, whether you learn them in 5 months or you learn them in 2 years. I just had to learn them real fast. Yeah. And I just got knocked down. So it was just
drinking from the damn fire hose.
Drinking from the fire hose and just not really knowing what I was doing and growing that fast. We didn't lay a foundation for a $2 million company.
Yeah.
We laid a foundation for $1 million company, not a $2 million company. So we rose really quick and then we took a crash. And it almost hurts more when you're that high and fall backwards.
Yeah. You like have a higher expectation all of a sudden and you're like, we made it.
Yeah. Just kidding. Yeah.
It is weird. And I watch it, right? And I run my own business and we experience the same things in a bookkeeping business. But I also get to watch it in hundreds of other businesses. Yeah. And it's so funny. Like I love Debbie's green jacket. Like, because otherwise I think an award needs to be given for that because otherwise people get to 1 million and they're like, we did it. And there's nothing besides nobody gives a shit. Right. If you're not part of a community, you get to something and you're like, we did it. And your spouse is like, change the baby's diaper. And your employees are like, wow, you're making a lot of money. Where's my money? Right. And your friends are like, I don't know. Is that good? Does that matter? Are we playing golf this weekend? Right. And it's like nobody actually cares besides your peers.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be celebrated. but I don't know if Debbie gives away anything, but I feel like with the green jacket should come a letter that's almost like, haha, like right? The fun is just starting, like get ready. Cause now is when it gets real hard.
Now it gets hard. Yeah.
It's like it's such a different set of problems being a CEO versus being a manager and trying to grow a business as like a president of a business versus somebody working in a business that's doing the tasks.
Yeah.
And so many of us, like you said, I didn't even know how to like manage and lead people.
Yeah.
Like, where do you get that training besides screwing it up over and over and over and over and promoting the wrong person over and over and over until you get burned enough times before, like, where you realize what questions to ask and how to scrutinize and lead. It's terrifying.
It's so terrifying. It is terrifying.
So challenging.
It is. And it's just, and also like, I think it was Darren Hardy's, like anyone can grow a business to $1 million. Like with enough grit, you can grow a business to $1 million.
You can hustle it. You can hustle
to $1 million. After that, it takes strategy and it takes skills. And for me, it was learning like what I'm actually not good at.
Mm-hmm.
Like I needed to figure that out and delegate that out to the people that are good at it.
Let's pick on you for a little bit. What are you not good at? Like as you started realizing that, what were the things where you're like, this is a no, this is a no, this is a no, like get these things off my plate. I'm not the right person.
Where do we start? How much time do we have? Look, can I tell you
until your bedtime? We have until your bedtime.
Dan, my bedtime was 32 minutes ago. So
well, then we have 23 hours and like 28 minutes.
Okay, we'll do it. Okay. So, let me just tell you what I am good at first, and then we can fill in what I'm not good at. I'm very creative. I'm fast. I can get shit done so fast. It gives everybody whiplash. Like, you know, the Miley Cyrus song "Wrecking Ball." Mm-hmm. Like that's what people hear when I walk into a room.
That's her walk-in song.
She's a wrecking ball. But I get things done fast. I just leave massive amounts of chaos in my wake.
Yeah.
But it's done.
Speedboat.
Yeah. And I'm very creative. Like I am super, super creative. I love when I can like dive deep and just be creative. And like, it's almost like an art, even if it's like writing business stuff. So that I'm really, really good at that. I'm very good at managing VAs. I love it. I love remote workers.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Why is it different than managing local people? Like,
oh my God.
How do you treat them or manage them differently? What makes you so good at managing VAs?
Well, I find with VAs, it's much more to the point. Like I'm a very high D, I'm very direct, and it's just to the point. It's okay. We're going over something. These are our goals. When things are a little off, I just make a Loom video, send it to them. They're like, got it. You know, understood. Yep. Won't happen again. Or they send me ideas, and it's less emotion.
Yeah.
But we're actually very tight knit too. Like we have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like
doing shit fast. Doing shit fast.
Just doing shit fast. And I just have to send a video when it gets done. Whereas in-house people, I just feel like the process is so much slower.
Mm-hmm. Which is funny that the thing that's right in front of you, the process is slower. And digitally it's faster. But it's also kind of the way our world is working, right? It's just like boop, 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 boop. It's easier to cut to the chase. It's almost like editing a podcast. You can cut out all the boring shit we talk about and just leave the good stuff.
Right. Which I know you won't be cutting anything out of this one, obviously.
I never edit anything because I love the rawness. Like I say a lot of stupid stuff. I do a lot of stupid stuff, and that's the fun. That's where the entertainment value is. Nobody wants like a polished podcast anymore. It's got to be the fun, dirty stuff, the nerdy, dirty stuff.
Yeah, nerdy, dirty. That would be a good name of a podcast.
We'll start that one next.
So I'm not good at. I'm very impatient. I'm not good at managing things that take a long time. Like if I have to say the same thing over and over again, it's like I'd rather eat glass.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just humans, right? You have to be good at that. So that's where my husband runs. He handles the people piece of things for me. So, yeah.
I'm probably the exact opposite, I think.
Okay.
In that I'm good at the people stuff. Again, I'm like patient to a fault. I'll just give endless chances.
Okay.
And I like systems and processes, but I don't like creating them and I don't like following them.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like I'm a weird, creative, nerdy accounting brain. Like I like the math side of it. I like digging in and going deep. But I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. I like solving a new problem. If I keep working on the same one over and over again, I'm gonna create a problem is what I'm gonna do. And it's like I'll get far enough to, like, I'll solve it to the 90%. And I'll be like, somebody figure out how to organize this so everybody else can do it too.
Yeah.
Like, but I gotta pass off the system and process side of it.
Right.
They're all go nuts. But I can talk to business owners all day, every day, and like work on stuff with them and help them build it 90% of the way. And I can do the same with our employees. Like, I don't mind having the conversations with, granted, all my conversations now are digital remote.
Right.
But I don't mind having those conversations anymore. It's fun to me going up this learning curve now of, it used to be with technicians, right? Like it used to be managing them. And then it was trying to like manage managers.
Okay.
And I failed that 1,000 times, right? But I think I'm starting to kind of get the hang of it. And now it's trying to like lead leaders. And that's choppy, but it's so funny, like the differences in approaches. It's probably similar to parenting. Like you got a certain way to handle your kids when they're 2 to 5, and then it kind of changes between 5 and 10, and then that changes between 5 and 15, and you're like, oh, got to like figure out how to parent now with the things you got going on,
right?
And what I need to be a part of and what I don't, and what questions I need to ask and what's not worth asking anymore.
That's a great analogy. Did you just come up with that?
I did, but that's just, I'm going through right now. I got a 2-year-old that just turned 3. I got a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and it's like trying to figure out where they're at and what I need to be worried about and what questions I should be asking them, and like what their attitude means. Like they got these attitudes now. They got attitudes. I don't know, and they're fiery. I don't know where they got that from.
Right.
They're all like
Imagine that.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's weird trying to figure that out. It's frustrating when you don't have it, because you lose people, you lose clients, your systems and processes suck. Yeah. And then when you finally get the right person and you feel like you've kind of dialed in your leadership style and it starts working, like I'm sure you've seen it in your business where like something takes off and you're like, I don't know, to my question earlier. And I was trying to see if you could identify it, because I don't, when our business takes off, I don't know that I can point to anything that I did. It's usually like I can point to getting a couple right people on the team.
Right.
And when you have the right people and you don't need to like babysit them, that they just show up every day and do a really good job and give a lot of shits.
Right.
All of a sudden the business just takes off.
It starts doing better. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think for us, well, first of all, when you think about the residential cleaning business, when I joined CBF, what was that, 4 years ago? Debbie's business hadn't even hit 2 million. Like there were only a couple of businesses that hit 2 million in the residential, a handful that we knew of, right? Independently owned. Yeah. So now we have $2, $3, $4, $5 million residential. The industry hasn't caught up to how do you manage people in the residential cleaning industry. So now that people are innovating and coming up with like these brilliant products and ways to scale, those things have really helped us a lot too. Those have been like clutch in being able to grow with ease this time and lay that firm foundation.
What, as you look back at like your evolution of leading people, give me a type 2 fun story where you look back and you're like, man, I can't believe I did that one that way. Like a catastrophe of leadership. And then give me start with the catastrophe, because those are always the funniest ones. And then give me and I'll share mine as well. And then give me like where you think you've dealt with it right and you could see the results of like getting the door open for somebody.
Yeah. A disaster in leadership. I mean, where do you even begin? Where do you even begin with this? I don't even know.
I don't know. I've got too many blemishes to know where to even start with something.
I wouldn't even. I mean, first, it would be like Tex coming to work drunk and being like, "You can't do that," like.
Oh, they were only drunk though. That's good. High too.
Or like the one tech that like he kept barking at people, and we were like, Andre, you're not allowed to bark at people.
Like barking.
Like a dog.
Not yelling at them.
No, like
orders,
like barking.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're not allowed to, like,
you can meow. Now you can meow, but no barking, son.
Thank you. Exactly. Just the things that we tolerated were unbelievable. I mean, as far as managing a manager, I don't know, the one I'm thinking of is just kind of too raw, but like when somebody's like toxic, but you can't put your finger on it. Have you ever had this experience?
Oh yeah, and like it's the classic. Derek Christian and I used to talk about this when we were business partners in our maid services. Is like the minute you think about firing somebody, you've really already made up your mind. You're just trying to find the thing that should be the reason. And the only difference is all the shit that goes wrong between when you thought about it and when you actually did it.
Well, yeah, but like that sneaky toxic person who like kind of erodes things.
And they're usually a really good producer. And so you
keep them
because they get a lot of shit done.
Yeah. And in my case, like I didn't have to do much. Like I was able to check out and do what I wanted to do after grinding it for 20 years. And having, letting that toxicity into my company is really what threw us back 2 years.
Was that a person in the field or a person in the office?
The office. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and that was within the last year. So it's still pretty.
Did you have team members coming to you and telling you about it and you were like defending them, or did the team members not realize the toxicity and were just kind of going with the flow?
Well, she was taking the toxicity to the team members.
Yeah.
So it was one of those, like, I'm here to save you. Beth and Walter are here to really like make sure that your lives are screwed up forever. Like they're intentionally making this an unsafe working environment for you, which anyone who knows us. So she was the one that was kind of getting in there and getting in their heads. So they weren't coming to us.
Yeah.
Because we were the bad guys.
Yep.
It was ugly. It was really ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hired a guy. I don't know. He wasn't even aggressive enough to be toxic. We hired this guy as a GM in our St. Louis location.
Okay.
And he was just never there. Right. And there was always an excuse. So I'm out meeting with these people, or I'm out doing this. I'm out growing that. I was like, well, that's funny because our revenue keeps going down. So, and it was the classic like salesperson thing of like, oh yeah, it's coming. Mm-hmm. And then eventually like team members of ours were like, Dan, are you sure this is the right guy? Like he's never here. He just shows up and talks about the weather. He doesn't hold anybody accountable. Like we're not. And then I'd talk to him and he'd be like, oh no, I did all these things. Right. And so it was like, I don't know who to believe here. Like,
right. I it's like crazy making.
And I'm not there. Like I'm in Minneapolis. This is in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it turned out, yeah, he was just like, he was sailing away. Like he just wanted to get paid to do nothing. And he was doing a great job of it. He was just like never around.
Yeah.
And again, just like I was so stupid. I was so naive. I didn't have the systems and processes to hold him accountable. And even though the data said he was doing a shitty job, I was like, oh, he said he's got stuff in the pipeline. Right. But meanwhile, like our whole team was just like losing all the confidence in our business. And then we started losing longtime team members and longtime clients. It was the real awakening for me of how important leadership is.
Yeah.
Is even if he didn't do anything, if he was just there reinforcing people and holding people accountable, that would have been 10 times better than anything he did.
Right. Oh my gosh. It's hard because you're a really good person. I'm a really good person. And it's like, I would be a terrible criminal because as imaginative,
I'd leave an apology note.
I just wouldn't even come up like the things that criminals come up with. I'm like, I mean, I'm a creative person that never would have crossed my mind. Like it would never cross my mind to show up to a job and just not work. So obviously it's got to be something else because before you have those like benchmarks, well, these are the benchmarks. And if you're not meeting them, I need to know exactly why. It's weird.
That in that case, it was a funny one. I thought I was solving a problem I had. This is like the dialing in of things. My previous experience of trying to place a manager, growing a maid service business, and I was like growing it from the ground up. We had 100 employees around the country, but I started a Minneapolis one while I was running all of our other teams around the country. And so one of those things where you're like out in the field over here and trying to grow that and worry about the marketing over here. And then you're on a leadership call, like worrying about those businesses and stuff. I was ridiculously distracted, and I kept trying to hire a manager for our Minneapolis business so I could get out of the field and be a better leader for everybody else.
Right.
And I dumpster hired 3 different managers. I promoted ones internally that were good cleaners, but they weren't good managers. And I kind of knew it, but I just was like, delegate through abdication. Like, here, you take this over, figure it out. I don't have time for this.
Exactly.
Didn't have the systems or processes to actually manage people. And so then I would like lose a really good cleaner too, because I just promoted them out of their skill set, which I've done over and over and over again in my career. And so in this, the reason I like swung the other way and hired the dude externally was I was like, well, I've learned my lesson. I'm not promoting somebody internally because I keep promoting people and then I lose them because I promote somebody that was good at that job but not good at the next one. I'm just going to go hire somebody that's good at this job.
Yeah.
And I got burned that way. And I was like, I just can't win. I'm just like the worst judge of character. I think everybody's going to be awesome. I have no chance.
That's right. The hope. It's like, it really is like dating. Like there's just so much hope and then so much denial. And then you're like, yeah, not it. Not it at all.
And I think early on, there's a fear of, I'm curious if you see this in coaching other business owners. I'm guessing you had at some point too, but like we have a fear of firing people, a fear of disappointing them, of the conversation, of like what might go wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've just done it enough times, but I kind of like it now. Like I'm looking for, I'm like, give me a reason. I love firing people now. But my mindset has also changed where I used to view it like I'm doing them a disservice when I realized by not firing them, I was doing our entire team a disservice. And so now I view it as like, I have to protect our team.
Absolutely.
And I'm like watching the flock and you're the freaking fox.
Yeah.
You're out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. I do see a lot with coaching, and I used to be this myself, is like not trusting myself or my people I coach, not trusting themselves. Like, did I give them enough of a chance? Did I train them properly? Did I give them enough information to be successful? And I see people questioning themselves on that again and again and again, women especially.
Yeah.
And just not trusting themselves that, no, this person is an actual idiot. And they've shown you time and time again, no, you can't train that out of somebody. So yeah, I see that a lot. Has it gotten easy? Well, it depends on the level of attack. No problem. I mean, but somebody who we've trained for 6 months to a year, that's a lot harder.
Yeah. When they've been with you for a while and it's like you got some credibility built up and some trust built up and you just see it like falling apart and you're like, yeah, but I know what they can do. Like I've seen what they can do.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. That does get
or for me, it's I still have a hope for what they can do. I may not even have seen it yet.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people do. Like
you get the sunk cost challenge too, where it's like, I've invested so much time and money in them.
There's that. And then let's be real. That means that I have to go back.
Yeah. Selfishly, you're like, I don't want to have to do that job.
And it always happens right before vacation.
Yeah, it does.
Always.
It does.
Every time.
You're
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
how have you, as you've gotten into coaching in the last few years, I'm guessing you're like seeing things in other people's businesses as well, stuff where you can help and stuff where you're like, oh no shit, that's a really good idea. Right? Like how many times in like coaching other people's businesses are you like, oh, we got to totally do that. Like I'm telling everybody, mind if I tell everybody? That's brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that. And I think I get more out of coaching than the people I coach sometimes, I think. Like just so inspiring. People and the grit that they have and how creative and their willingness to try again and try again. But yeah, all the time. And with developing deep clean specialists, it was really fun because like you said, you had that problem when you had a cleaning business.
Oh, so bad.
It was such a problem in the industry. So it was great to collaborate with so many other businesses on the little things that they've done that worked and incorporating that into the program. So there's all kinds of like sprinklings that I got from other companies, other, people I coach, of course, with their permission to sprinkle it into the program. So like as a community, we're just building and growing and figuring things out, and it's a ton of fun.
Are there any like coaching success stories? You don't have to like name names and companies, but anything that like sticks out to you over the last couple of years where it's just like, man, like I was so damn proud of that. You would have thought they were my kid.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I love when they do the work. I'm just there to cheer them on. But just insecure. The imposter syndrome. They don't believe in themselves. They can't even ask somebody to fold a microfiber, much less fire somebody. And then they just turn into these baddies. Like they just hold themselves accountable and they follow instruction. And then before you know it, they're just like these independent, like, just really confident and leading. It's the best. It just makes me so proud.
It's like, they go from like kind of operating scared to just ass kicking.
Yeah.
Just going right at it.
Yeah.
I had, if this person's watching, they'll know I'm talking about them. I won't say who they are, but CBF person called me twice today. I'll go so far to say like, I don't want to say she's my favorite client because I have had another client be like, "What? She's your favorite?" I thought,
you never want to step on that trap.
Not trying to start a fight. I got a lot of favorites. It's like it's kind of like having kids, but just her evolution over the years and like confidence to make the hard decisions and like knowing which questions to ask.
Yeah.
It's been so fun watching her just evolve and just kick some ass. And like every time I talk to her, she's just like more confident, more badass. Like,
I know.
Instead, like usually now when she calls, she's like telling me some more badass shit she did. It used to be when she called, she'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared to do this thing. Do you think this will work?"
Yeah.
And now it's like, let me tell you about some other cool shit that I just did. Why I think it's working. And it's so cool to watch them just start owning it and running.
Yeah, it's so good. And it's business, but these are life skills. Like just having the confidence, being able to, I see a lot of times people not, they'll hire a service, let's say hire someone to do their social media and be like afraid to say they don't like something that they did. Like they just have no voice. And when they find that voice and realize they have their own power and they can use it, I mean, that's life-changing. And if for a parent to learn that skill and to teach that skill to their children is just, you change generations.
Yeah. I think there's a confidence thing too in like, as I look at my business journey, there's a confidence thing too in like getting feedback and being able to use it. Like getting feedback when you're uncertain kind of sucks. Like you don't know what to do with it. You feel offended. You feel like you got kicked in the teeth.
Yeah.
As you get the confidence in your business and where you're going, it's so much easier to tell what feedback is good feedback and what feedback is just people being assholes.
Right.
And like, so much faster what to do with it, when to ask for more and when to just like shut them out. Right. Like, who's giving you feedback because they want you to be successful and who's giving you feedback because they're jealous and they're trying to take you down or whatever the case is. And so it's fun watching, like, I don't get to watch it anymore because I'm not on Facebook. But I remember Amber Hathaway posted one time, like her rebuttal to somebody to a Google review. And it was just so badass. I was like, hell yeah. Like, she just nailed it. And it's like such a confidence thing. Like, it's so hard to take feedback. And that piece of feedback she got, I think early on, we're so afraid to like put our foot in the sand, right? Or like, just like draw a line. And she just has it now. She's like, nope, so I know you're full of shit. And I know exactly how we do this thing. And I know what the process is. And I'm open to feedback, but I ain't open to that feedback. That's a waste of our time.
Yes.
Right? I'm not going to entertain your 1-star Google review. I'm going to make it really clear that everybody knows you're the piece of shit. And we did exactly what we told you we were going to do. You tried to pull one over on us. And now it's clear you're the idiot. So knock yourself out.
I love that. Yes. That's so good. And then also learning like who to ask feedback from. I used to be, when I was younger, it was any feedback I had, it would like affect me, or I'd hear it and I'd even consider it. Now it's like there's certain people I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like. It's like, I won't use that example because that would be terrible, but yes.
That's probably, we were talking earlier about social media and how I'm like happy I'm not on Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing, is just not like all the politics and the bullshit on social media. I try to stay out of it. Right. But sometimes you just get sucked in because you just can't take it anymore. And you're like, it's hard. It's just hard to watch people be assholes.
Yeah.
And so at some point you just feel like you got to say something, but it just doesn't do any good anyway. No. And so it's like, not even like having it out of sight, out of mind, and not wasting any brain energy on it is pretty glorious.
I bet that's so great.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, I bet it. I'm not on hardly much at all, except for that when I need to be. Now it's just so ick. It's just like
toxic.
Yeah, it's toxic. It's like eating like I don't know. It's like eating like a stale Cinnabon. Like it just feels gross, and you just hate yourself.
It's got like crunchy, but all the calories are still there.
It wasn't even good. Yeah.
It's like you're not even winning; you're just losing. But let's get into social media stuff. Okay. That was how I got to know who you were in the first place. Is everybody was talking about best TikTok videos? What got you going on TikTok? Why TikTok at the time? Like, I don't know if that was the thing you started with, but it's the thing I knew you for that like started to take off. What was the mojo? Where did that come from? How did you unveil
that? Mojo.
Was it intentional? Was it accidental? What happened?
It was totally accidental. It was the pandemic, and we were supposed to go back to work after 14 days. And I'm like, I don't think this is happening. And I had a teenage daughter at the time. And she was like, Mom, you got to make these TikToks. So it was like kind of tongue in cheek, like, okay, TikTok, I'll go to TikTok.
Yeah. Here I come, look out.
Yeah. And so, one of my first videos was me cleaning a toilet to Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. And, and it was just fun. It was just fun. And I had no idea what it was about. And we allowed her boyfriend into like our, bubble and he was like, dude, Beth. He's like, what the is happening? I just hit, follower. It was like insane how these videos blew up. And it's such a testament to the algorithm, because I think I was one of the first people, like Generation Xers, who were on TikTok making videos. Like,
oh, yeah.
And so I got in there in the beginning in my demographic. And I just had so much fun with it. And then I realized I could teach my my clients how to clean. So I keep it clean through COVID-19. So I'd make videos that I sent out to them. And then I was like, well, I can use these to train my team. Like, what else are we going to do right now? So I made, and those blew up. My biggest video, I think, 17 million views. I was a training video for my team on how to prep a room for deep clean. That one, really? Yeah. That one, even when he was still on the air, the Dr. Oz show reached out to me and asked if they could feature me.
Oh shit!
I was like, I had to sign all these waivers and stuff. It was crazy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but then he ran for president. Like, he announced it like 2 days before my show was supposed to air, and they pulled it. And I was like, that was probably for the best. I didn't need all that.
Yeah, yeah. It's exciting.
I don't want to hitch my horse to that wagon.
Wait a second. Did you on which way the toilet paper roll should go?
That was a fun one. That was a good one. Yeah. I've made the dumbest videos, and they're great for training my team, because they clean our house twice a week, and it's always the news people. And I just, if they don't put the trash bag in right, it's like, hey, great job. Here's a quick video on how to put a trash bag in the trash can. And they don't forget it. So yeah, we use it a lot. And then I realized the power of video. And also, you know what, Dan, I was able just to have fun and be myself. I wasn't trying to make money. I wasn't trying to be a TikTok star. It was just my goofy self doing my goofy thing and having so much fun doing it. And it was a lesson that, some things I try so hard at and I just can't get, because I'm like not operating in my like highest, most authentic self.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it got, you know, it got insanely big, and like offers for, you know, paid. And I realized the power of video. And so using that video, my Facebook page for my business has like 44,000 followers, which is a lot for a Facebook page.
Heck yeah.
So just, yeah, the power of video. And I use video in everything that I do now. And I love learning about social media and the algorithm. And I got my kid, she's making videos now. She's like, I'll tell you what, get those kids on making, does your 9-year-old make videos?
She doesn't yet. She'd be really good at it. She's just goofy and just very like existential and so out there.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to keep social media out of their hands.
Oh yeah, no social media.
So it's like I'm trying to figure out how to leverage it. Not leverage it for me, but like keep her interested in how the world works. And I mean, and frankly, like that's how the world's gonna work, right?
It is how the world's gonna work.
We're not gonna keep screens out of their hands. They need to know how to learn how to use screens.
Absolutely.
I was this aged me so much. As the other day I was talking to about like typing and how I think like, hey, like I took it for granted, but like typing is such an important, like simple skill. And then I was like, what the hell am I talking about? You guys aren't going to need to know how to type. You're just going to talk into the thing and it's going to spell it. You're not going to have to know how to spell. I don't know why we're teaching you how to spell. You're going to talk into a thing and it's going to ask you, did you mean this or did you mean that?
Yeah.
And you're never going to have to do any of this stuff. Like I'm trying, and I'm like going through, I'm like, what is important for me to teach you? I don't even know, besides how to kill a deer and gut it and catch a fish and clean it and cook it. Like,
I mean, there's that
garden. You got to be able to go with like now, like I'm laying down the law. They always avoid helping me garden. And I'm like, no, you little shits. Speaking of little shits, Crosby, come here. My 3-year-old just walked in with this face. Like come here, bud. He's like,
say hi.
He's just learning how to open doors.
Oh, that's a great.
Yeah, he's all about
buddy.
it. You want to say hi, Beth? Can you say hi, Beth? Or are you just going to drool?
Can he hear me because you have your headset on?
No, he doesn't. But I put one on him earlier and he kind of like got weird about it.
Yeah.
You say hi, or are you trying to get away? Get away. All right, see you, bud. Can you sing Old MacDonald a little bit? No? Dudes, if Pamela Gardner's watching, her nickname for him is Old MacDonald, because every time her and I would be on a call and Crosby was around, he'd come running in, he'd be like, Old MacDonald. Like he just wants to listen to, watch anything Old MacDonald. Swear to God, the kid's gonna be a farmer.
I love it. I'm here for it.
I mean, for the last year, he's all about it. Now he's standing over here smiling at me. He's just all pumped since I said Old MacDonald. He's like, we watching, we listening. What are we doing with Old MacDonald?
Where's the from, Pops?
Yeah.
So good. So real quick with my daughter, because she saw me making videos. So, but she doesn't have social media. She's not a lot of social media, but she does CapCut.
Oh yeah.
Canva.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one she does? She just figures it out. She just knows. It's insane.
Cross dog, you got to get out of here before you break something, dude. You either got to go or you got to come here. Oh, you opted to go. Go find mommy. Where's mom? Every time he doesn't know something, he goes, I don't know either. I don't know either. And I'm like, this is freaking adorable. I hope when he's like 18, he still says that. Like, where's your mom? I don't know either. Yeah. Like there's so I wish because now I forget with our 2 older girls what all the silly things were that they said. Like there's a few that we remember that are like iconic, but I wish I'd have wrote them all down and just have a book of all the goofy things your kids said when they were like this age.
I
They're
know.
always saying stuff and it cracks you up so much, and then you reminisce on it and you're like, remember when they used to say that thing about the thing? What the hell?
I know. My oldest just graduated college. The one that I had in college when I started the cleaning business, she just graduated college.
Oh, yeah. Full circle.
It's so cool. Yeah, she didn't make nearly the bad choices I made.
What fun is that? But now, like growing up nowadays would just be harder. Like when we were kids, you could just get away. Social media didn't exist. You get away with so much more. Like At my grad party, my parents just said, everybody give us your keys.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's driving out of here.
Yeah.
I'm from central Wisconsin. So, of course, like our parents bought us all the beer. So, like, there's no way you could do that anymore. Like,
oh my gosh.
You'd all be in jail. You'd all be in freaking jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and for her, like, she just makes these healthy choices for herself. Like,
what a weirdo.
What a weirdo. She goes out for a jog, like 6-mile jog every morning. Just, I'm like, who birthed you? I don't understand these healthy choices. Like, she'd break up with a boyfriend and she'd call me. She'd be like, I just need my mom. And I'd be like, when I was your age breaking up with boyfriends, like, my mom was the last thing on my mind.
I was calling my next boyfriend up.
Right. It was like a hunt and replace. Like,
yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. It is funny. I do wonder how they're going to grow up, because the world's just changing. I mean, like, we grew up in an age where like technology was coming fast, but it's not going to slow down, right? It's just going to keep going faster and faster. I can't wrap my mind around like all the differences that they're going to look back at what we're doing now and be like, remember when you used to host a podcast and you'd stream it live? Right. Like, you guys are so ancient. You know, I don't know what
anyone you did a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to be comparing it to, but they're going to look back at what we're doing now and just think we're so stupid, laughing at us. I know.
I'm just trying to stay ahead of it. I don't want to be one of those old people that don't get it.
Once I'm an old person that doesn't get it, I think I'm just going to move out in the woods and just hunt and fish all the time. And just live out there. I'm be like, I'm out. Y'all do your AI stuff. It's past me. You guys all passed me up. I'm going to the woods.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound so bad. I don't know if I could hunt and fish, but the woods sounds good.
Just till the bugs come out. They'd be like, "Give me out of these damn woods. I'm out. I need to be somewhere in between. Okay, give me a can of off and some Thermacell."
Well, and let's be honest, we'd be out in the woods, but there would be an air conditioned like luxury cabin that I'd be going back to. Like, I'm not that outdoorsy. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still nice woods. It's good woods.
Yeah. Woods.
What as you see, like, technology wise, with all the AI and stuff like that, how do you see incorporating that into your maid service business? And are you coaching anything where you're seeing implementations of it?
Oh my gosh, it is so much fun, because I really try to stay on top of it as much as I can. So now, I mean, with AI, we're just able to scale at such a greater level with less people. So we're building bots, AI bots. So right now I have 2 bots, one for employees, one for, clients. So anything that comes up in my office that they have a question about, they just type it into the bot and it just gives them the answer according to our.
I told you were magic. I knew it. This is magic.
Yeah.
Magic answer box.
Magic answer box. So we got a couple of those, and we just, anytime I update something, I put it in there and it goes into the magic answer box. And it's amazing. So like our salesperson, she's from Brazil. She doesn't have to know every last detail. She can just ask the question in AI and it spits it out.
I need to get our team doing that for bookkeeping stuff, because I swear to God, we answered the same questions. Internally to make sure we're all on the same page, but externally too. We answer so many of the same questions.
Yeah, so we just load up our handbooks, all of our SOPs. Anytime another question comes in that we don't have in there, we just load it, and it's all there. So yeah, so we use that, and then I know we're going to be incorporating in the AI, the phone AI that will use that chat box to answer questions, and then ask whoever's calling if they'd like to speak to somebody, or just like you do when you call AT&T or Apple.
That phone AI is getting better than having somebody answer your phones that's not geographically present. Like, you can't talk about the weather. Like, the phone AI knows more about what's going on in your location than somebody in a different country does.
Absolutely.
And can talk in whatever inflection you want them to talk in.
Absolutely.
The thing that struck me, I think it was the Jobber AI that's like tied to that CRM. I had called a buddy's work number, like a buddy / client. I had called his work number to try to chase him down for something on bookkeeping stuff. And his business AI answered. And so, of course, since he's a friend, I was like, well, I got to mess with it, right? Because he's probably going to hear this recording. So I started asking if it could like deliver me some bush lights and how that might work. And the AI handled it professionally and perfectly, to my frustration, because I was really hoping to have like an awkward dialogue with it. And it was just like, it hit the points that it could hit and perfectly transition into, I really can't help you with the bush lights, but I truly wish you the best of luck on solving that problem. And I was just like, man, that was the perfect response, and like frustratingly perfect. I was hoping to like have some back and forth. Like, I don't understand why you want bush lights.
Oh no. So I don't really like that though. I don't like that now, like our wit. We can't even outwit a machine. Like, I don't like that. It's like the last thing we have left.
It is a thing that truly worries me about AI. I do think it's the beginning of the end. Like, I don't know. We're all going to be in some socialist like government salary, because there's not going to be like, that's probably a ways out, but maybe not that far out.
I mean,
and I kind of like pain and suffering and figuring things out. I don't like having all the answers. In fact, I try to avoid the answers sometimes because I like figuring it out versus just getting the answer. There's joy in the journey and the problem solving.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want the shortcut. I want the pain and suffering. That's why I like hunting and fishing. Like, I want to go figure it out. I don't want to just go know the spot and go get them.
Right.
The journey's the fun part. And kind of having all the answers is dangerous. And it gets dangerous.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. For sure. Can I tell you one more thing we did with AI that I love?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay.
Before it becomes the end of us all.
Before it becomes the end of us all, let's have fun with that, right? Yeah, I mean, if we're going down, everyone's going down. So it was like,
I'm on that ship. I'll be on that ship with you.
Yeah. So we have our office dog is a Bernedoodle named Winston, and we've turned him into our mascot. And because of AI, Winston can do anything. So he is like, he's the voice of our company. So he, like, all of our stuff is like Winston approved, and they have Winston's like a human who does everything. And it's the greatest thing ever. It's been the greatest marketing for us. People love it. We're the company that has Winston the dog. So it's really cool just uploading his picture, then being able to create this entire marketing program around just this picture that we uploaded into AI. It's super fun.
It is nuts what AI can do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. There's a tipping point here where it starts creating itself. Mm-hmm. That's where it scares me, is when it's like, when it's not our prompts, it's its own prompts.
Yeah.
It's like never ending how fast it's going to learn and figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
I sure as hell don't.
No.
But what, where do you see your business going here in like the next year or two? Where do you see the maid service industry going in the next year or two? What's your like coaching business owners and watching them and talking to them? What's your forecast? What's your expectation?
I don't know if I'm fair to forecast. I think that those of us who are willing to grow and lean into AI and lean into, just this next, what would you call it? Like an information revolution.
Another one, like the real one.
The real one.
We thought the information age was when the internet came out.
No, that opened the door. Yeah. I think those of us are going to be able to scale to, 10, 20, $100 million. And that people who aren't willing to do that, I don't think you can afford to have a profitable business with what you have to pay people now if you're not leaning into AI and softwares and programs. It's not grit. Like, grit can only take you so far. So that's what I see happening.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, just so much collaboration. Like, I love the collaboration that I'm seeing with people really like, I'm really good at this. You're really good at that. You're really good at that. Let's put our heads together and make something huge. Just seeing that happen.
I was going to say it'd be really interesting over the next few years. I don't know if it's the next few years or the next decade or what the time frame is, but right now I feel like businesses are still looking for employees. Like, we're all looking for good employees. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be a tipping point where unemployment is going to start going up because we're not going to have enough jobs for humans.
Right.
And the jobs that we will have, our workforce won't be trained for it. Right. We're going to need more engineers or more software, blah, blah, blahs versus whatever we have now.
Right.
It's going to be like really interesting to watch. It might not be great. It might not be super fun to be a part of because see some panics going on in the world.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's going to come fairly fast just because of how fast AI learns and how fast it goes. I was reading an article. It was hilarious to read, and especially the comments. I think it was just on Instagram, and I think it was Accenture that announced like Accenture trained its entire staff of however many hundreds of thousands of people work there on how to use AI. And all the comments were hilarious because it's like, hey, great job training your replacement, right? Like you're working they're working their way out of a job, but it's like, well, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. And it's common, right? So I might as well know how to use it, because if I just put my head in the sand, I'm also going to lose my job and I won't know how to deal with this stuff. So I might as well replace myself and hopefully like keep learning enough that I can be a steward of it and not just purely replaced by it. But I feel like that's
I know, it's crazy. And like the morbid part of me is afraid that our class divide is just going to keep, we're going to have the people at the top and the people like,
it's going to be huge.
Like people, picking fruit and, like low wage labor.
There's going to be robots for that. I think it's going to have to be a government paid, like the government's going to have pay the minimum wage, and there's going to be 10 gazillionaires, and the rest of us are all going to make, at some point, the rest of us are all going to make the same wage because the robots and the AI is going to do everything.
Yeah.
And so it'll be the 10 people that own the AI that'll have all the money. It'll be what somebody brought up to me, a really good point, which is like, what happens with our national debt? We won't be able to pay taxes when that happens. And so basically the richest people in the world are going to finance our national debt. They're the only ones that'll ever be able to pay it.
Right.
That and some crazy inflation, to make it less valuable. But money's just a number on a computer screen anyway. So why not have a ridiculous amount of inflation? It doesn't really matter at that point. It's all apples. Right. So it's like I got into that with somebody else. It's like, man, that's just really weird to think about. But yeah, you're going to get a huge discrepancy.
Has to be. I don't see a way around it. So I think you're really onto something with your garden.
Got the garden going.
I'm not even kidding. And I try not to go like too far down that rabbit hole, but I have my brother gets 9 kids, and they're like really working to be fully self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Like they have a farm.
Here's the other thing I like about it is I don't take joy. I get joy from doing hard things and problem solving. I don't get joy from like getting the answer. I get joy from the journey. As painful as the journey can be sometimes, and like it's frustrating. The immediate problem solve is the dopamine. The long-term problem solve is serotonin. I looked it up the other day because I wanted to make sure I knew what it was, and now I probably still got it wrong. But the long-term happiness chemical.
Yeah.
And so I find in food, like I enjoy eating food, but I enjoy getting it more. I don't enjoy going to the grocery store. I mean, I do, like there's some funny kid behaviors and stuff like that, and I'm fine. Some days I have the patience for it. Yeah. Some days I don't. But man, I love like when I shot 8 deer last year, process them all myself. 4 chest freezers in the basement. Hopefully the power doesn't go out. Yeah. And like I took my Danny, my 9-year-old, wanted to go fishing for her birthday yesterday. So we went out and caught a bunch of bluegills, and I spent 3 hours flaying bluegills last night. We got 52 of them. But now we got fish for a fish fry or whatever the case is. And I do get, it's not an argument because it's my argument, but there's nobody bringing it back at me. But we have like landscaping around our house, and my wife is, like, oh, the pretty flowers over there. I'm like, well, you better like them now, because like the garden's just getting bigger, and like those hostas are going to be gone because we can't eat those. And we could put tomatoes there or raspberries or something that we can grow and eat instead of some shit to look at. So I'm slowly cannibalizing any landscape.
Oh no.
And it's turning it, not in the front yard yet. We got a lot of backyard. There's a lot of place for plants in the backyard.
Okay.
But like what's the point of a plant with some pretty flowers on it besides for some bees to pollinate all the stuff that I grow and stuff. But
so how big's your garden? And who maintains it?
Me. I like working. I was out there today. So like midday, I always do not always. I try to always do a midday workout.
Yeah.
And it was like pouring rain today, so I just did a jump around T25 thing in the basement, and it's super humid, so I'm soaking sweat. And I look outside, I'm like, oh man, like I gotta go. We got peas coming up. I gotta go check the peas because we're leaving tomorrow morning, and then we're gone for like a week and a half we got a country music festival, and then we got a July 4th thing. Fun. And I'm like, man, like the in-laws will be here using the pool and like helping me maintain the garden. But before we go, we got to go out and pick whatever we got. So I got to go check the peas and see what else is going on. Got to thin the carrots. So I'm out there in just a downpour, but I'm already soaked.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's kind of like the start of a shower. And I tell my wife, it's like, I had 15 minutes before my next call, like 25 probably, but I spent 15 of it thinning the carrots and picking a few peas and you know,
that's
like,
great.
Yeah, just getting
out. I'm jealous.
Got to do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, our house, we're part of a development, but we're outside of the development. So we were the last house to be built. So all our property is literally just rock because they move they just move the rock from house. So for us to garden, we have to like
do the raised beds.
Yeah, we got to do the raised beds. But total side note, I have tortoises. Do you know this about me?
No. What? How do you get a tortoise? And
I have 2 tortoises. They're going to live to be 100. They're going to get about 45 to 50 pounds. I've already spoken to a lawyer about a trust for them because
these are serious.
They're going
to be around for a while. They need to be taken care of.
I think if I take something into my care, anything living, that it's my responsibility to be responsible. So, but they're now big enough that we're having to build a tortoise enclosures out back for them.
Yeah,
they're big enough. So
either that or turtle soup. Turtle soup.
Now these were very expensive tortoises.
They're pets. They're pets. They're not food.
And I love them. They're not soup. We don't eat our pets, Dan.
My buddy does have some chickens and some ducks, and they're kind of pets, but we also eat them.
See, I couldn't do it.
His wife wasn't there when we shot the ducks in the head with the 22. His 10-year-old was a little,
shook,
unhappy with us.
Yeah.
But later on, he enjoyed one of the ducks.
See, I can't eat anything that loves its babies. But I don't, because ducks don't love their babies, I don't think. But I can't eat any meat that loves its babies. So I don't eat like pigs or cows or.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Yeah. No shade at anyone who does, but I just can't. I can't stomach it.
You could eat deer. Like the moms don't love their babies. They literally kick them out after a year to have their next round. Like they kick them out, and the bucks leave right away.
I have to clarify what I perceive them to love their babies. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's not actual love. It's just
this is what I perceive.
Yeah, it's nature happening, but you view it as love. It's the personification of them trying to take care of their offspring for their species purposes.
Yes.
I do think I like the species, and I don't know a lot of these, but I have and I would still eat them. Like to me, carrots are alive, peas are alive. Deer are alive. Pigs are alive. Everything's got to die. I'm going to eat something.
Yeah.
It's going to be whatever it is. I'd rather go get it myself than have somebody else kill it for me.
That would be different for me. Like if I knew where it was being raised and what it was being fed and the kind of life it had. I mean, this is so over the top. See, this is what happens when you get me after my bedtime. I start.
These are my favorite conversations.
This is when I start looking real silly. But if I feel like it was raised like unethically and just given hormones and shit, like I'm like, I can't do that. That's
I don't want to support that.
No,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a special elevation of a species when they have like lifelong mates. Like loons have that. They like stay together for their entire lives. I think there's some owls that have that.
Yeah.
I think that's just pretty badass.
That
like,
really is.
This is funny because that's very uncommon in nature. Like it's again, like there's this weird thing that we like try to find humanistic traits in animals, which I think like we're just an animal too. So it's
absolutely
kind of were just another animal. But we like the closer they are to us, the harder it is for the most of us as a population to like kill them and eat them. And so I think that's just an interesting thing. Like I see this with fish. Nobody gives a shit about fish.
No,
we torture them. Like we pull them out, we freaking hook them with a hook or net them and suffocate them. Right? We pull them out of the water, we suffocate them, and people don't think twice because they don't blink or something. I don't know why.
Right.
But they're like afraid to eat a deer or something like that.
Right.
I'm just like that's
it's not logical at all.
You can kill that thing in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like a swift shot, and it never has to suffer. It didn't even know that it was ever like in danger. It's the way I'd want to be taken out. When you kill a fish, it's like you dying in a fire. Yeah. Right? Like
it's like I know. And no one cares. I know one cares.
I don't know. There's no answer. It's not even a question. I just think it's funny.
A fun fact about bald eagles. This is really interesting. So they mate for life, but they only meet up with their partners 3 months out of the year. And I think this is the most brilliant thing ever. So they have their partner. They meet up with their partner for 3 months out of the year. They get it done. And then they go back, like the women eagle, hang out with the women eagles. And then they every 3. I think that sounds like a brilliant plan to live by. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, I think our species would do well with that.
I would love that. I think my husband.
Although here's like love the idea of it. Who do the kids go with? Do you flip a coin?
No, they probably go. No, we know who the kids go with. The kids go with the mom. The mom does all the emotional labor.
I wanted you to say it. I didn't want to say it. It made me sound like a cold asshole if I said it. It's way better if you said it. But I love those little shits. Like I wouldn't want to be gone from them for 9 months. Yeah, I don't mind being gone from them.
You had to ruin the dream for me because I'm just thinking this is like amazing.
Yeah, but like probably the difference with eagles is after 3 months, the juveniles are also on their own. And so that lifestyle would require that our kids after 3 months would just be like out on their own.
Yeah, we don't care anymore. It sounds great. Yeah. Like I love my husband and Beth.
You got this.
Yeah, we could get on board with that for sure. We'd be super happy.
Like, are we husband and wife right now, or are we just coworkers? Like when are we husband and wife again? That's May, honey. That's May.
Right.
For the next 3 months, we're still just coworkers. Oh, damn.
Good stuff.
Hell yeah. Any as we wrap up here, I know it's getting late, it's past your bedtime. Any closing thoughts, closing comments for anybody? Where can people find you if they want to hear more about CBF and what you got going?
Yeah. So the best place to find me is just Facebook or the socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, just Beth Eldredge. She's my handle, Beth Eldredge. TikTok is Eldredge Cleaning, but don't message me there. Dan, I get so many messages from people trying to get me to sell their stuff on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why do you think I would sell your car alarm? My dad doesn't track.
That is funny.
It's crazy. Reach out to me for, if you're a cleaning business owner and you're interested in CBF or interested in deep clean specialist. Social media is the best way to get me.
All right, I got a closing question for you.
Yeah.
You can take this one anywhere you want to. Again, my question was your answer.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say my preface is it can't be – the question is like, what are you going to do if the world changes tomorrow? And it can't be something that you're already doing. So you can't run a maid service business. You can't do coaching. But let's say you wake up tomorrow and the world has changed and maid service doesn't even exist. Robots are doing it. Just snap of the fingers. Okay. And you don't need any coaching because AI already has all the answers. But you got to go do something that, would maybe make you a few bucks to pay the bills. But you'd be like super passionate about and would be you'd love every day waking up to do it. What would you go do tomorrow?
Oh, that's a tough one. So if it can't be coaching at all,
my question, your answer, right? You can finagle your way into some extension of coaching. But I'm not trying to give you permission. It's just,
yeah.
It's your answer. I'm not going to show up behind you all of a sudden and be like, Beth, I told you can't answer that way.
Right. End the program and
end. This is an inappropriate answer.
All right, so I'll tell you, my dream is to have a farmette.
A what?
A farmette.
Is that a type of hat?
It's like a little farm where I just have little pets.
Tortoises. You got some tortoises.
Well, tortoises. I need goats. I'm obsessed with baby goats. We rent them and bring them into my house, like little just the animals. So I would if everything ended, that's what I would do next. I would start a little farm and I would make it just the most magical place on earth for me, and then to allow other people to come in and find the healing that I find in animals. There.
I got two cool things for you quick.
Yeah.
To in regards to your farmette.
Yeah.
Marty, my wife, her cousins own a produce farm, but with that they have like an adventure thing for kids.
Yeah.
And then they have like an animal farm.
Yeah.
And so they've got pigs and goats and sheep and horses and peacocks and guinea fowl and just like all kinds of cool stuff that you can feed and tinker with.
Yeah.
Side note, they kill the pigs every year. Like it's also food. It's still fun going and feeding it out of your hand.
Yeah.
And I saw in central Wisconsin, there were some folks that had started a similar thing, and there's chickens running around everywhere. There's goats running around everywhere. Yeah. And then they had a big brick oven, and like once a week they would do pizzas in this huge brick oven.
So
and
cool.
like feed as many, and like hundreds of people would show up.
Yeah.
So you'd like put in your order for a pizza, and they just kept cranking out pizzas, and it was pizza at the farm. And you're playing, it's like a picnic. You're just sitting on the ground, eating the pizza that you ordered and playing with all their animals.
Yeah.
BYOB. This is BYOB. Bring your own beers out to the farm. This is super cool.
Yeah. It's amazing. That's all I want.
Music out there every once in a while. Farmette.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would do.
I'm with you. Let me know when you started. I'm coming. I like
animals. Yeah. Oh, it's happening. We've actually put a bid on a couple of them.
Oh no, this is happening.
Oh no, this is happening. And the only problem is that my house, our interest rate is so low right now.
Yeah.
I think we're like 2.25. Like we got it at the very, very bottom.
Yeah.
Like we're like low income housing right now.
Yeah, it's impossible to leave it.
Yeah. I mean, it's insane. So but if it all went away,
it'll have to be a second property. It'll have to be a second property. You can still keep your original mortgage. You can rent it out, get the financing from that one to pay for the next one.
I could do that, or I might just say, I mean, if I have the opportunity, the world changes, I might just do it all.
Happening. Yeah. Burn it down.
I mean, just go, lean in, put on some boots and
farmette the shit out of it.
Yes, I'd figure it out.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Go fast. You're gonna go fast.
Yeah. That's real fast. Yeah.
Go fast. You have goats tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm coming. I want to go see your farmette.
Oh, you're invited as soon as I get it. It's happening.
All right. Let me know how I can help.
Yeah.
I'll throw some hay bales. I'm good for throwing some hay bales.
You might have to teach me how to garden. I have no idea how to garden, but I mean, I'm good at figuring things out. So
I don't know if I'm good at gardening either. I kill half the stuff, but I like problem solving. I like problem solving. Yeah. I'm okay when stuff doesn't work. Yeah. Just another chance to solve a problem. Have some fun.
Yeah, that's it. Good.
All right, Beth. It's past your bedtime by an hour and a half now. Sorry for keeping you up.
That's okay. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. It was a whole lot of fun. Yeah. Again, remind people where to find you on the socials.
Yeah, Beth Eldredge. Eldredge is spelled with all E's. Either Instagram.
I did look you up. I did put an I in the middle, and I was like looking up when I was like writing my thing, and then I was like, oh, she's a musician. Oh, she died already. And then I was like, oh, it's the wrong Beth. Yeah.
Yeah. Awkward.
I'm glad you hadn't died, because I was been like, oh, damn it, I gotta.
Like, you have to find a new guest real quick.
Tonight. No podcast tonight. She died already.
Yeah. Well, I would probably have a lot more followers if people knew how to spell my last name, because I think no one can find me because
we all go with I. We all put the wrong vowel in there.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, good on you for telling us it's all E's.
It's all E's.
Now we know.
Now you know.
All right, thanks for hanging out, home service homies. You guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. Good night, y'all. See you next week.
Thanks so much.